Good afternoon. My name is Sergeant Travis Cox, United States Marine Corps. I served 8 years in the Marine Special Operations Reconnaissance community and was also a scout sniper. I served in Iraq in that capacity. Colin Kaepernick, I'm posting this video not out of anger, but as an invitation and offering some advice. You see, when I was 17 years old, I remember watching the Twin Towers fall. I remember watching a hateful, genocidal, tyrant dictator, Saddam Hussein, execute his own people. I remember being angered and bothered by that. I decided then that I wanted to do something about it. As a country, we were all very aware of what was going on. Raising awareness was no longer needed. Action was. I then put my life on the line and worked very hard so that I could deploy to the Middle East and very personally and directly impact the battle space of Iraq. I assure you that when I left that country a better place than when it was when I arrived. 2 months into my deployment, I lost over a quarter of my teammates, whether that be they died or they were wounded. You see, when I was in Iraq, I saw firsthand what oppression looks like. And thanks to the men and women to the front, back, left, and right of me, we were able to liberate many of these people from the oppression that they suffered from. You see, it takes real action and sacrifice to make a difference in this world. That action and sacrifice was made by some of my best friends that are no longer here with us. Because of that sacrifice, we were able to see people practice their religion in their religious institutes. We were able to see schools open back up for children. We were able to see the hospitals used to actually treat the ill and not harbor the enemy. We made a difference firsthand because we took action. I have a problem with not standing for the national anthem. That personally offends me, but that is your right. The problem for me on top of that is, what are you actually doing? When I watch your interview, I listen to you talk about raising awareness. As a country, we're aware of the issues that you're trying to bring to light. We all see what's going on. What are you actually going to do about it, though? You have an opportunity, Colin. You're a famous NFL quarterback. Financially, you're in a great place as well. I challenge you to do something. Don't just raise awareness. Don't just point and then wait for someone else to do something. Don't just sit while the national anthem plays and wait for other people to do something. Stand up. Do something about it. Take action if you're this passionate about it. I assure you that the local police departments would not shy away from more funding for better training. In your recent interview, you talked about how lawyers have to go to school for 8 years to practice law, but a police officer only takes 6 months to enforce that law. You have an opportunity, Colin. Improve the training in your local community's police department. I assure you the police department will not shy away from those funds and that extra training. I don't know. Fund a community gathering with local law enforcement and people from the community where they can learn to work together and address these issues. Create a program for children in these areas that are being affected by this so that they can grow up, become police officers, and serve in their own communities. You have an opportunity, Colin, to really make a difference. Don't just raise awareness. That does nothing. Take action. Because I assure you, what I've seen in my experience is that when individuals stand up and actually take action, they can make a change. And if you're passionate enough about this, you may be able to do it in a graceful and positive way. Look at the other NFL players like Pat Tillman, Nate Boyer, making huge sacrifices, walking away from NFL careers to serve because they saw something they wanted to make a difference in, and they did. Finally, I'd like to issue an invitation. I invite you to come to San Antonio, Brooks Army Medical Center, and walk the halls with me, sit in the cafeteria, shake the hands of the men and women that have sacrificed more than we will ever know. I would be proud to have you as my guest. I would be proud to have you sit down with some of these individuals. Talk to them about what real sacrifice is, what it really takes to make a difference in this world. Ask them how your stance of not standing for the national anthem affected them. Enter in a healthy, peaceful dialogue. The invitation is open. I would love to have you. I would love to open your mind and give you a perspective. And I would be open to the same. If you have somewhere that you would like for me to go and engage in a healthy, non-combative dialogue, I would be very happy to sit down and see another perspective. You have an opportunity, Colin. You have an invitation, and you've been challenged. I assure you, you have the power to make a difference. And I encourage you to do so if you feel that that is what you're being called to do. Finally, to the veterans that feel insulted, angered by the actions of Colin Kaepernick. We have a saying in the reconnaissance community, and I say this to you: never above you, never below you, always beside you. God bless.